to the Marathwada Mr. Mandal, and thank you, sir, for a very lovely experience. You make me sound as if I'm 30, okay, just about 14 years of experience and growing. Am I audible behind? Can you hear me? Great. You may not be able to see me, I'm vertically challenged, but you can hear me for sure. Okay, so I think a very inspiring session by Mr. Firodia in the morning. You know, he spoke about so much about being passionate about what you do, in kind of constantly working at changing, etc. He spoke about how, he spoke about how people are really pursuing their passion. You know, talk about growing roses one day and then starting to become a painter. Well, today's workspace actually looks like that. Never really have we had 5 generations of people working at the workspace. Technology really doesn't see so much, but traditional industries such as manufacturing, pharma, you will really find it. So before I jump into my topic for today, which is digitalization, let me start asking you some questions. You're going to ask me questions later. Now it's my time. Okay? How many of you actually have smartphone in your pocket? Like, what a question, huh? All of us have a smartphone. How many of you have at least 10 apps on your smartphone? 60% of the audience? Okay? What about this side? Yeah? How many of you use your smartphone to make a booking with Ola, Uber? Okay? 50% of the audience at least? How many of you use your smartphone to book your bus tickets, rail tickets, airline tickets? Okay? How many of you have a Facebook application on your smartphone? All of us. How many of you use your smartphone to actually look at what's new? Arnab is very entertaining in the evening, but why wait till 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock to get your news? Right? So what is really happening? Today, technology has really taken away the boundary from personal space and workspace. You know, people bring their personal lives to work and people take work home. Technology today is pervasive. When I talk about pervasive, it means it's just about everywhere. Okay? And in this environment, what does it mean for organizations? Okay? So 70% of y'all said y'all have smartphones right now. Do you know what is the number of times you look at your smartphone in a day? Take a guess, number. I can't hear you. 100? Okay, very nice. As long as you're not doing it in class, I'm sure your professors don't have a problem. So statistically, the global average is 26. 26 times is how many times we actually check our phones. And if you belong to the age group of 18 to 24, which most of you are, you look at your phone at least 74 times in a day. Okay? So you as an individual are also an employee. So imagine if this trait actually comes to the workforce, what does it mean for the company? Okay? 40% of the global internet traffic comes from mobile devices. Okay? Less than 20% of companies globally have applications on smartphones. So your user is asking for something else, and what you're delivering is an entirely different experience. Okay? So let's talk about where digitalization actually started. Okay? The first inroads into digitization was in early 1990s, typically with software IT companies, because it was easy. They were in the business of technology. So for HR, what does it mean? You know, your time and attendance, leave application, exit, performance management, all of this went from being filled on paper to it becoming a system-based application. Is that digitization? No. Okay? Early 2001-2002 is where we saw a lot of standalone systems come in. You actually started seeing something called as LMS, Learning Management Systems. How many of you actually log on to the internet to pursue a course on Coursera, edX, lynda.com? I can see some hands here, there going up. Okay, so that is where it actually started, the early stage. What did it mean for companies? You have an entire employee life cycle, so many more systems. And if you were not a technology company, if you were a manufacturing company, if you were a construction company, with technology something you had to do over and above your job. Okay, paper was better. Technology is so boring. Okay, very boring interfaces. Let me give you an example. In 2012, I was asked to set up shared services in one of my companies I was hired for. I was like, very exciting role, great, let's create a shared services. And well, we actually had an astounding 12 HR systems. Okay? So as an employee, you had to log in on one system for your attendance. To apply leave, you had another system. Okay? To log in your OT hours, you had a third system. To resign, you had a fourth system. If you had to get transferred, it was a fifth system. And I've even forgotten what were the other systems for. So can you imagine an employee is expected to work for 10 and 12 hours during stretch time, and you're supposed to remember your work, you're supposed to be nice to a customer, you have your boss who's screaming in productivity, performance, quality, and you have to memorize 12 accesses and 12 passwords. You think he's interested in logging into your system? No. Okay? HR professionals, they know what to do with systems. So if you have 12 systems, does data even talk to each other? No. So every time you have to upload the master list, every time you have to start extracting data, analytics is like forget it. You know, going to Pluto is easier, let's not talk analytics. Okay? So our battle into getting into shared services was one, even looking at integration of those systems. And where do we start? Because one system, so 12 systems means 12 different vendors. Somebody's built it on a very small end, access-based system. Somebody built it on an SQL. Cloud was very far away in those days. Okay, so it took us nearly 6 months to even bring those 12 systems into 6 systems. Okay, and we kept thinking, it is so cumbersome. Think about the employee. You know, why do you think they don't like HR departments? Because you make them log into 12 systems. Okay, so there are obviously people challenges, there are tech challenges. Around 2002 to 2003 is when even the tech market started consolidating. You had SAP, Oracle, go and purchase the smaller players, and then they finally came up with end-to-end solutions. So if you log into Oracle from start to exit, everything is on one platform. Okay? You log into Ramco today, they've got a brilliant software, everything is start to end. So at least we've got one solution and one system. But now the market is changing. So HR professionals went and consolidated 12 systems into one system. Okay, and said, okay, we've got license versions, we've got employee self-service, we've got manager self-service, and all of you smartphone users now say, I don't want a boring system. I don't want to log into my computer to apply for leave. I don't want to know my performance at the end of 6 months. Talk about now. Okay? So let's look at what companies have actually done. So everybody is aware of the employee life cycle. What's the first thing that you do when you need a job? You apply. Okay? So you all probably have a LinkedIn account. You will all probably apply on Naukri. You will apply on Monster. Well, a lot of mature companies have applicant tracking systems. They will download your application. Some companies will make you fill a form, and that begins your recruitment process. When you go there, they make you fill a form again. Okay? You go through your selection round, you get selected, they make you fill a form again. Why? And you ask for the same information. So if you could pull my CV off the internet, why can't you get my entire data into your system? Okay? Do you know how many job searches are done through mobile applications in a month? Globally? Take a guess. Globally. I'm sure 1,000 will be in this room itself. It's a large number. 1 million? Let's go more. Let's go a little more. Yeah, is there a number bigger than 1 billion? Yes. Around 9 billion searches are done through your mobile phone. Chances are when you're looking for a job, you're going to use your mobile phone. Okay? Less than 20% of companies actually have a recruitment application that talks to your mobile phone. So talk about a user experience. Okay? The next stage, you get hired, you join the company. You don't know what's going to happen to you in 1 year. You will either quit in 6 months, you don't like the culture, You don't know who to go talk to. You don't know what's expected from you from a KPI system. There's a lot of change, culture. But companies will say, let's ask employees how they feel. You've heard of employee satisfaction surveys? Yeah? So, what do employee satisfaction surveys talk about? Facilities, they talk about access, they talk about management, availability, they talk about your growth opportunities. How often do you think these surveys are conducted? Once a quarter. That's a very generous number, I must say. Gallup, you've heard of Gallup? You've heard of Great Places to Work? Okay. A lot of companies go in for these surveys once a year. Gallup actually has a question that says, how engaged are you at the workplace and were you rewarded and appreciated in the last 7 days? So many employees come to us and ask, 7 days? Was it 7 days when I joined? 7 days in which month? Or is this the last 7 days? What are you going to do with this data that comes after a year? So why? Because HR professionals love doing things which are fancy sounding. We go to a conference, we come back and say, new buzzword, let's do employee satisfaction survey. Somebody says, I need to take an initiative, let's do employee satisfaction survey. Somebody says, my boss wants me to do it, let's do employee satisfaction survey. But how is that employee connected with employee satisfaction survey? Because you don't have the technology to give it real time. Okay? So John Deere, you all heard of John Deere as a company? So they realized this is a big problem. What were we doing with data that was 6 months old, 1 year old, employees even leave the system and moves on to another company? They've come up with a process in which they capture this every 2 weeks. It's all automated, it's all digitized. As a manager, you can actually see, in the last 14 days, which employee has demonstrated low morale? Which employee is coming in late? Does he have a personal problem? Okay? Is there an employee who's got transferred to a new team? Is this a problem with a team? Is this the boss issue? What is the problem? So your solution is more real time. Okay? Let me give you another one. So employee stays with the system, you perform, and after 6 months you go tell the person, hey, you know what, you're not performing. I need to put you on a performance improvement plan. A lot of times companies use PIPs as ways to let go of people. But in genuine cases, you were like, why didn't you tell me 6 months ago? Because you don't have data. You don't have systems. Can you see over 10 days or over a week an employee doesn't perform? Can you have coaching given to him right away? Can you have feedback given to him right away? Are you interested in improving performance or are you interested in letting go of an employee? Okay? It takes a very long time to hire a good employee. It takes a great amount of investment to train an employee. And if he's going to go, then God save you. Because you've got your customers who's going to demand, whether you work in service or you work in a product-based environment, it's very, very competitive. Okay? You've all stayed in a hotel at some point. You've checked out, obviously. Okay? How long does your checkout process take? 1 day? Few minutes? Few minutes, right? Okay. When an employee decides to quit a company, what is the notice period you think exists in the market? 1 month, 45 days, 3 months, 6 months, depending on how senior you are, whether they really want to make it difficult for you to go, whether you're in a unique space. How long do you think a full and final process settlement takes? 45 days. So imagine, you could go check into a hotel, get out within 15 minutes, probably that's an upper limit. Your employees told you 2 months in advance, 1 month in advance, and you still take 45 days to process his last salary to give him an experience letter. Why? Okay? So these are questions that you really need to ask, and these are questions that companies have started asking. So in that company of ours, we asked the same question. And we reduced the FNF process to about 7. We aspired to go down to 1 day. Okay. Then of course there was a merger and acquisition and a new organization took over. So digitization today is also undergoing a different shift. Okay. So if you look at all digitization efforts, it's all because I want to automate my process. I want to make my process online. I want to have a computer capturing information. I want to have a web-based application. I have a browser. I have some analytics I'll add as add-on, monthly report, quarterly report. My boss will ask me, so I'll give it to him. You know, my CHRO will ask me for information, so I need to give it to him or her. Okay, and those are basically very reactive systems. Today's world is very competitive. The social order at workplace is also changing. So I spoke about it. Employees don't come to you. If I have to ask you, how many of you intend to retire with the company you join? Not even one hand. Okay? The social contract is changing. People want a very engaging work environment. People are looking at meaningful interactions. And how do you bring it to them? Okay? So a lot of companies have started thinking about what do you do next with digitization. Well, we consolidated systems, we made it into one system, solution and applications. You can't just move to an app. Okay? It's a very uncertain world today. And you obviously have a detailed session around volatility, uncertainty, the VUCA world later on the day, of what I've gathered from the agenda. Today's world is all about SMAX. You've heard of the term SMAX? Social, mobile, analytics, and cloud. Okay? So these are two buzzwords for you as HR professionals. One is the world of VUCA and one is the SMAC world. So what does it mean? So a lot of companies have gone back saying, we thought of what we want. Okay? I want compliance, check. I want a system, check. I want my employee to log in, check. Today's world is all about experience. What does Facebook as an app give you on your smartphone? An experience. You can like, dislike, comment right now. You don't have to wait till you log in into your computer when you go home or your tab. Okay? So companies have now started introducing the concept called as design thinking. Okay? What design thinking does is puts the user at the center and designs the system around it. Okay? Design thinking also says you don't need a perfect system. You experiment, you improvise. You fail and you improvise. So Telstra, which is one of Australia's leading telecommunications companies, was struggling with 0 to 1 year attrition. And they hired extremely talented people and they were all disappearing in 3 months, 6 months. Okay, they studied what was the behavior, what were the frustrations, and they came up with an application, okay, an app which was delivered through your mobile, which is available, which was synced to the cloud, and they saw great turnaround in the employee engagement and employee attrition. DuPont has actually gone and converted all their systems into one system. Okay, so you've seen examples of how John Deere, DuPont, Telstra have done it. Closer Home Reliance has done that. Before their 4G launch, they converted all their HR systems into an app. They tested it because HR needs to eventually support the company strategy. Okay? Now, what does it also mean for the workplace? So you've all heard of town hall, CEO town hall. How many times in a year do you think a town hall happens? Once a year. Some companies will go up to twice a year. How many times do you think an HR conclave can happen? Once in a year. Well, there's something called as Facebook at work now. Okay, a Facebook at work is nothing but Facebook literally at work, and you can chat with your CEO anytime. Of course, keeping his availability in mind. You can reach out to your super boss anytime. You want to move to a next process and next account, you can ask somebody in another vertical, hey, how do I move from this business to that business? Information is available to you right now. You don't have to wait for once in 365 days. Okay, probably in the next 30 minutes you're going to get your response. You have Google at work, which is completely changing the way we work. So imagine if you're a global company, you have somebody working out of someplace in Poland, you have somebody working out of Philippines, you have somebody working out of 3 cities in India, you are working out of South America, and are you going to send an Excel file to 5 countries and 5 versions? No. Google at work gives you a very collaborative workspace. You share, you access information, and you can make decisions like this. Okay, so that's how your workspace is changing. So what does it mean for HR professionals? You know, does it mean that we go to a conference and we say, oh, you know what, there's this company, Amazon's doing this, Flipkart is doing this, let me pick it up. No. It is very, very contextual. Which means that which is the industry you are in, what is your organization's maturity and aptitude. Your culture really matters. It's not what you as HR wants to do, it's what your management wants to do. It is what kind of workforce you actually have, what are their aspirations. Okay, so you need to decide. So if your company still is working on paper and you decide to go on an app, probably it's not happening. You have to have a journey, you have to take steps. Over a period of time, you will actually get there. Okay, another decision that HR professionals have to kind of answer is what do you do with data and privacy? Okay, one company in the US decided that when everybody has a Mediclaim and a medical insurance, every company gives it to you as part of your CTC. So what they decided was, well, to decide what kind of premiums we give away, let's track real-time our employees' health. So you all heard of Fitbit? So they gave their employees Fitbit and said, okay, all this is synced, we will know how you feel and what your health is like. They decided to use that data to improve or reduce their contributions towards their insurance. Well, they didn't assess the risk and the data was leaked. Now in India, data protection is yet to catch up. Okay, in the West, data protection can actually kill your company if there's any leakage. Okay, so as HR, you also need to know who has access to your information. You will put information on cloud. Imagine your entire company's performance data is out there and you've not assessed. Okay, performance management is tied to your strategy. That is strategic information leaking out. You will know who's your star performer. I mean, another company could come and just poach your employees. So you should know what are the risks. So it's important that you work very closely with your risk assessment team. As you can't just say, oh, I don't know finance, I don't know technology, I don't know risk. I love people, so I'm in HR. Wrong reason to be in HR. Nobody loves you back in the company the minute you make a policy. Okay? So learn about risk, learn about finance, learn about what's happening new in technology. You don't have to sit and code, but it makes sense to know how things work. You don't need to know what to do, as long as you know what you're going to do with it. Okay, third thing, when you look at solutions, so go back to that example of 12 systems. The company did not think of what was the future requirement. Okay, the problem is here and now. So if you have a headache, you probably take an aspirin or a Crocin or a Disprin. But if you have headache every day, it's not a problem with your Crocin and aspirin. You probably have a fitness problem. You probably need vitamins. So don't give an aspirin when you need a vitamin. Okay? So whenever you design systems, look at scalability, look at sustainability. Today, if you're a 5,000 company, tomorrow if you're going to be 15,000 company, can your system support 15,000 people? If you're a company that operates out of global geographies, or even India for that matter, if you got plants which are set up in remote locations, and you create an HR system which is enabled on your mobile devices, do they even have broadband and internet connectivity? Possibly not. What are you going to do with an application? It's not going to work. Okay, so you have to assess that environment.